This is the talk of Music City real estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monty Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Welcome back there, Monty.
Welcome back, Carey Ann.
It's a good day. It's always a good day when I get to see you.
Oh, it's a fabulous day.
And I love that you're wearing your shirt finally.
I love my shirt.
It's a uniform.
I love out of place.
I know. We gotta get you. We gotta get you a shirt. Hey, and we can too get you a shirt if you would like to wear one of these cool, awesome talkmusiccity.com shirts. Definitely comment below. Tell us how much you enjoy this podcast, and we'll send that along to you. So we thank you to all of our listeners every week.
Don't expect it to come with the massive pythons here, and so forth. I'm just kidding.
Too funny. But we've got Mr. Jason Hoover with us again.
Hey, Jason. Good to see you, brother.
Hey.
Great to see both of you.
Yes, we love having you here. You bring a lot of perspective into our conversations. When Monty gets a little out of control, you bring it back.
Me get out of control?
So that's why we're on
Keep me in the middle.
That's
I'm
right,
like that.
that's right.
Positive middle balance there.
The rose between these two type D thorns.
I love it. Well, we're going to have a conversation, and maybe we need to be. This conversation today may get some excitement going. We don't know. But before we get started, let's talk about our amazing sponsor, Music City Removal Company. They are the #1 junk removal service in Nashville, from residential, commercial, and construction. They're experts in ridding you of junk. Their costs include labor and dumping fees without any hidden or added expenses, whether you need a full clean out or just one removed. They have you covered.
Music City Removal Team knows the importance of respect and trust while in someone else's home. They understand the inconvenience of junk left behind by previous homeowners and tenants and are determined to provide an affordable and customer-focused junk removal service that puts you first. For a free on-site estimate, just go to musiccityremoval.com. That's musiccityremoval.com. Because
clutter ain't cute.
Because clutter ain't cute.
Because it ain't cute. No, it ain't. All right.
Carey Ann's over here multitasking.
I've got a lot going on. Hey,
I know you do. I know you do.
We're just going to make it through. We're really blessed to be busy. Middle Tennessee is still booming.
It is.
And with that comes with a lot of people excited to move to town. I heard that Nashville is one of the top search cities. Is that true?
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
I think regardless of what's going on in the world, there's a lot of inertia towards Nashville. Yeah. But we certainly have been challenged in the process, haven't we? Jim, you were sharing with us a few minutes ago some of the things that we want everybody to be mindful of as we set the stage of discussion.
Yeah, 2020 has been quite eventful, hasn't it?
Jim McCarthy, by the way, the famous Jim McCarthy, by the way.
We love Jim.
I'm going to give myself a little round of applause. I'm the guy behind the camera, so you can't see.
We're very thankful for Jim, because without him and how busy we are, this would actually not be posted every week. So we're very blessed for you, Jim.
So we talked about, Nashville. Everybody's been affected by 2020, all the things that have been happening with COVID and, the protests and riots.
Well, it started with the tornado, right? Lord.
But that's what I mean is that nationally, they've had those two events. Nashville, we had one event that happened before everything started.
Right.
The big tornado that tore through downtown, Germantown, and heading on out to Cookeville. So, I mean, it's one of those things where we kind of got hit with a trifecta of stuff, while the rest of the company, and we're still booming because of it. One of the things that I had actually sent you guys is that despite the economic slowdown, Nashville is still outperforming other metro areas despite everything that's going on. So thank God for that.
Amen.
But there's a fourth component to this.
Yes.
Right? And we're all kind of aware of it.
As if that wasn't enough. I got an idea.
Hey.
I got an idea. Let's
it's a good
They're testing the strength of all of us.
Let's see how
much more we can handle.
What's the strength of this wing before it breaks? Nashville and Davidson counties being hit with a 34% property tax hike.
Yes, and that has been hit, right? Because by the time this airs, it has been hit.
Yep. Absolutely.
It started July last week.
July 1.
So in order to, I think the explanation of it is, let me see where he have it here, is meant to help Nashville recover from the March tornado and the COVID-19 shutdowns. Basically, it's an article talking about how it could negatively affect the city's elderly population. But, I think ultimately it's interesting to see how this will affect the unintended consequences of a migration out of the county, if you will. I mean, are you guys seeing any earmarks of that or nuances?
There's a lot of talk going on, I think.
Unfortunately, I am seeing it and hearing about it. One of my clients just was speaking to a buyer outside of his home. He lives here in Franklin, and a nice $850,000 home, and this buyer actually confronted him while his realtor was standing there and said, "What's it going to take to buy this home?" Because he was very, very serious. And so the next day we got an offer on that house on that number. But the point of it is, my client's talking with him and saying, "Why are you moving from your beautiful home in West Nashville?" And he said, "I can't handle this 34% tax increase that's starting now, and I don't want to be told where I've got to wear a mask." He got a double wham on those two topics. Okay, and no offense to anybody who wants to wear a mask, I totally respect that, and we shouldn't even go there on the topic because we are realtors, and realtors try to stay in a safe place. But the point is that combination, I think, he said, "Okay, enough is enough." So one of the things that we shared on our Monday morning huddle call here at Realty One Group Music City was, look, guys, you might want to be prepared for a mentality of people, or do this. Let's do this. Equip yourself with the knowledge of the surrounding communities, because you might see a surge in popularity of all the counties touching Davidson County. And sure enough, today I get a phone call from one of our agents saying, "Hey, what you talked about yesterday has happened today with me and one of my clients. They want to get out of Davidson County for that very reason." So, yes, to answer your question, Jim, I'm seeing it happen already.
Well, and then there's a flip to that, right? There's always both sides.
Okay, Miss Positive.
There's always both sides to that, because, I mean, if you love your house and you want to be in a rhythm and a groove with your kids at a certain place, you may want to figure out, okay, now how do I handle this and embrace this 34% property tax? Now, what you referenced, that the property tax was to take care of tornado concerns and or COVID close downs. Mm-hmm. I would, if I was a business owner in Davidson County and I am having to pay for being forced to close down, I think I would have a lot more emotion with all of that, because I'm now paying myself to pay back when I wasn't allowed to do what,
work.
Right. So that would spark a fire right under me for sure.
And that's who I feel the most sorry for, in all sincerity, guys, are the business owners. You take a restaurant that's been shut down for a while and now then, given half capacity, and now people have to wear a mask to go into the half capacity so that they can pay, so that the business owner can pay a higher tax and only have half and all this stuff. We just have chosen just not to go downtown, and I hate that. Because I'm a believer in supporting the local businesses 1,000%. But I'm not going to do it.
And it's a double whammy for those because obviously their income has dropped, and now their mortgage is, they're
increasing.
Well, not the mortgage, sorry.
But the payment.
Your payment is going to increase. So it's a double whammy for them.
Mm-hmm. So if we have this information, and this is now what it is, this is our new normal, and it's hard. I mean, I'm still walking around with paper.
Temporary normal.
Temporary? They're going to lower it?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm just trying to be positive.
Oh. But
it's temporary just for the next 100 years. Until they raise it again out of the clear blue,
That's too funny. Hey, let me just tell you, my sister is, we're not going to say anything except for the fact that they're moving to New England. Okay. It's really exciting. Talk about appreciating your property taxes and I'm going to do her mortgage until we talk about what she has to pay. $20,000. Can you imagine? In property taxes.
Holy cow. Wow.
So that right there makes things in perspective, right? Depending upon where you are.
Yeah. Maybe we've been spoiled,
Yeah. We have. That's part of it. But that attracts a lot of people from New England down here. I grew up in New England. I love the area. But that would definitely change my monthly mortgage payment and or require me to make a lot more with my job to satisfy the same comfort level. We're talking about a $5,000 monthly mortgage payment. I don't talk about $5,000 monthly mortgage payments with many people around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what we talk about.
That's
here.
not what you're paying, Jim?
Just a slightly tad lower.
But so let's say that is the new normal, right?
Okay.
So this now the increase is here, and what does that mean for you, and how? Because a lot of our listeners are real estate agents. What can you do to educate the consumer that you're working with? And yes, there's going to be people like, get me out, I'm done. We're going to get a handful of those. That's going to come.
Should be more than a handful, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I also know that there's some people that would love to live in the beautiful high rise overlooking downtown. I mean, that has been their dream ever.
It's worth that extra $1,000 a month.
Yeah, but for them, they don't know 1,000. They came from a different state that
Sure.
they're already paying 15 or 20. So for them, that's a bargain. So that's going to attract somebody else too. So the
I'm
reason
talking about the local people, though.
Okay.
How fair is that for the local people, Carey Ann?
No.
Miss Positive.
I'm just saying.
I mean, the
I'm
local
not a
people,
fan of
unless they're renting out one of the back bedrooms, it really doesn't, it's not,
Well, let's talk about the increase. What does that really look like, right? So we did the calculation.
Yeah, let's do the calculation.
So if somebody's looking at a $250,000 house, you're going from estimated numbers, right? So 1971 to 2638, right? So that's an increase about $667, $700 a year.
Wow.
Right? So if you're looking at 350, because I think you said, Jim, the average price point in Davidson or Nashville?
335.5.
Okay, so let's talk about 350. You would be looking at taxes around 2660, city and county. That would jump up now to 3693 for a just shy of $1,000 increase annually, right?
annually. But
So-
let's talk monthly payments. So that's how people think.
Sure. So
do you
you're
have
looking
that?
at 7 divided by your 12. You're at $58, just shy of $60 a month. And for that 350, you're looking at a monthly payment around $770.
That's substantial.
$77 increase.
That's a lot of money, especially if people are already strapped,
Pushing their limits of
and
what
then
they
they're
can
not
afford.
able to work. Their incomes. That's a make or break.
So how do we fix that? Are there ways to fix that? Well, there possibly could. We're really blessed right now with the interest rates being as low as they are. I mean, we are locking people, again, depending upon the credit score, type of loan, down payment, et cetera. But people were locking in at very, very low interest rates, right? So if somebody...
In the threes still, right?
Still, absolutely. And possibly under, depending upon, the client.
The term and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So if somebody is out there that is very concerned about their payment, maybe there's an option to look at refinancing and or talking to your insurance agent and talking about reevaluating your insurance. There's many different things that go into insurance. There's different deductibles, $500, $1,000, $2,000, up to $5,000. And yes, I don't have $5,000, let's say, for deductible for something to happen. But when do you actually use your homeowner's insurance? And for the folks that dabbled in with the tornado, they'll say, well, I use my homeowner's insurance, right? But so that is going to be a situation that you use it for major, major things. But your insurance agent can talk you through too about how to lower. So maybe a combination of both can maybe
Sure.
get you back to where you were.
Sure.
I'm just talking out loud on the Talk of Music
Just
City.
talking out loud.
That is a very sunshiny way to look at it.
Let's see Miss Sunshine here.
We all
Miss
feel
Sunshine.
better
Thank you.
I'm telling you. I can't ever get in a really deep negative groove here because Miss Sunshine has to shine
Pull
on.
you right out. Pull you right out of that negativity. Hey,
And I'm not a negative person, I promise
No.
you. I'm not. But my deep personality can't help me be a realist. And I'm feeling the pain. Here's the deal. Here's the core of it right here, guys. One of Connie and I's favorite restaurants of all time that everybody knows knows about it is Shalimar Restaurant, shut down permanently because of the silliness going on out there. Okay, the lockdown. Okay, that
That's
breaks
sad.
my heart
Yeah.
because that was one of our. That's where I took her on our first date to Shalimar, which was, I know that's another story. It was silly. I don't do hot stuff. I'm sitting there just sweating all over myself, and she goes, "Oh, I need some more of that." And she looked at me, this sweaty mess,
Oh, that's too
But anyway,
funny.
the point is, and that's not the only restaurant. That's not the only business that's shut down forever because of this. And some of it I know can't be helped, but some of it could be helped, and that's what breaks my heart.
Well, there's a difference about talking about a $700 increase or $1,000.
Yeah.
We're talking businesses, commercial businesses. We're talking 60, 80,000. That's a huge mark.
Yeah.
And you can't even work full speed right now. That is a huge hit to folks.
And it's great that the interest rates are lower. But for buyers right now looking, so they're not able to refi. They're now going to purchase less home.
Right.
Their buying power has just gone down quite a bit.
Exactly, and that's a concern because if they didn't like what they were looking at before, Now they're looking at a lower price. That's where it gets to be I'm sorry, Miss Sunshine, but that's reality, you know.
Yes, and you have choices.
Mm-hmm. Move out of town, move into the surrounding communities. There's some fabulous schools out in these other counties as well.
But a 20-something-year-old or a young 30 or a fast-moving 40 whippersnapper.
How about a 67-year-old? Huh?
We're not going to talk about that yet. But let's say that individual lives and breathes the fast pace, maybe not so much fast pace downtown, but loves the beautiful high rises down there. Mm-hmm. They're not going to get that in Franklin.
I do hear that
in the suburbs.
That new high rise penthouse for $25 million is still available.
Really?
I thought they sold it.
Did they?
I don't know. I thought they sold $80 million
what were the taxes?
in one day.
They sold $80 million worth of, but the very top one, $25 million, still available.
So is that going to be a hotel though?
The first few floors are hotel, and then it's residential.
Oh, because that's going to be our only 5-star hotel, I think here, right?
It is.
4 Seasons.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Who has $25 million to overlook a few more cranes?
I thought that was right up your alley. That's why I brought it up.
Overlook a few more cranes.
I'm almost there. So
the beautiful valley. Yeah,
we were talking about this the other day. I'm not never spending that kind of money, but nor do I have that kind of money. But overlooking the ocean, overlooking a view of something. You
don't like cranes or what? Are you anti-crane?
Do you know that I do think we hold the record for.
I believe it
for cranes.
I believe it.
I think here.
The state bird, I think.
Yeah, crane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too funny. You're just comedy over there, aren't you? Look at you go. Look at you go. So, I know I'm trying to look up the tax factor.
On 25 mil?
No. For Davidson and Nashville. So it looks like it's $3 and 3.155 is what it was. So I'm looking to do that calculation. So, and seeing what Williamson Franklin is, let's see what that is right here. So we're looking at Franklin. So that's $2. Let's see. It says Franklin, certain parts of Franklin is $3.22. So there is a little bit of a decrease there on the Franklin Williamson side.
So, is it fair to say that then that's almost going to kind of level out some houses to come over to the Williamson County side, because it's always been known that Williamson side is going to sell for a higher rate. If you got a lower tax, it's going to make that big of a difference.
Schools play in that as well, as we all know. But already in certain areas, I have a client recently that sold in Montclair for $860 and bought on Woodmont for $840 and got 2/3 of the square footage. Now it's new, but they're sharing a driveway with their neighbor because it's a tall, skinny. And so we're already seeing an increase there of the values of, my point is the reasons to head towards Williamson County or some of the surrounding counties. But to me, that 34% just put the icing on the cake if I was looking around there.
Sure.
And again, don't want to sound negative. I'm grateful for Nashville, grateful for the inertia to Nashville with all the people around the country. And I don't think, even with this kind of craziness, I think that Nashville has an incredible future because of all the people coming. And I guess they just, like you said, Carey Ann, get used to the new norm as far as those prices that we've been spoiled with. And maybe that is something I need to consider, that we've just been spoiled, Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's like trying to convince somebody that, walking to work is, it's just not the right direction is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's just not a good comparison.
Well, I did, I'm not sure about you, but I must like the Tennessee Titans on social media, and I got an invite to a game. So we're having football this year?
Yes, we're having football.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well, have you ever been to one?
I'm just saying because I didn't know if we were going to have it or not,
Yeah.
With everything
and we're
that's
having
going
some
on.
baseball.
We are.
We are going to have some baseball. Even my Sounds, their first game is going to be end of this month, July.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a short season, but hey, it's something, right?
Right.
One of the things that's going to be coming down is you're going to hear a lot of New Yorkers coming. They got an interest in Nashville.
They do?
They do. I saw an
Do you have an accent now?
It's The Godfather.
I feel like he's ringing The Godfather. Talk about The Godfather. We went to that one restaurant that's near your new office, I think. What was it called? Maja? I don't know if they're open, but that they played The Godfather the whole time.
Is that the one by off of Old Hickory? It's like behind
Franklin Road, isn't it?
Franklin Road, yeah. It's a great place.
Italian restaurant?
Yes. Hopefully they're still open because they're amazing if you haven't joined them. But they play The Godfather all the time, so they're great there. But yes, a New Yorker coming to town, a New Englander coming to town, somebody from Michigan, somebody coming from Texas. My sister
California.
lives in right outside of Dallas. Her taxes are over $10,000 for $600,000.
We lived in Texas for 3 years, and it was crazy.
Yeah. And she's a disabled veteran, so the VA loan, to know what she's paying monthly, you would just not be happy, you know. So you're right. A lot of people moving here, they think this is great. I do think that there's a lot of spike in frustration and emotion when it comes to the people currently with that are been living here, and the folks that have been living in Davidson and Nashville for so long. They have given their sweat and tears and all of their taxes for as long as they have, you know.
That's part of the reality in general. I think that a lot of folks, if they sold their home, they couldn't afford to buy it. You know, what they have,
sure.
Without that, they couldn't afford to buy what they're able to sell, and then they've got to look at somewhere where they can replace that. They end up way out in the country usually.
Well, and the one thing that I keep going back to is why now? Why right
with everything
now?
Else going on. Why
it's
now?
probably the absolute worst time you can do that.
Yeah.
I just think that's.
I'm sorry. There's no changing that.
Yeah.
It's a bad time to take care. And is it because everybody was looking over here that somebody decided to do something over there? I don't know, but it couldn't have picked a worse time for the business owner out there to do something like this.
Or even just, anybody. Because the workers are being laid off and furloughed, and their restaurants, companies go out of business. It's a bad time.
Well, right now we're seeing just a few people coming back. I've noticed that some people aren't going back to work until August 1st. So there's some companies that are still not having people come back, depending upon the industry that they're in. So yes, how are they going to have the money, to be able to do that? And then the flip conversation is the unemployment. Some people are getting paid more on unemployment than they are working a job. So the other struggle is, do people want to go back to work or maintain the unemployment? And then, you have that conversation too, because it's hard to find really good workers right now. And I hope we haven't got to a place where a larger percentage of us are comfortable with being just, that extra drive and ambition. Has that gone away? I don't know. There's a large group of us that have been driven before and will maintain being driven. But if you feel like you've been pushed down so many times, like the girl who does my hair, in my mind, thinking 2 steps ahead, I'm like, no big deal. Close it down. Come to my house. Let's do this. Move. And she said that the state put a $6,000 fine through COVID if anybody was caught working out of somebody's house.
Right.
What was she going to do?
Yeah.
What was she going to do? She happened to have a savings account and learned about, saving all her money, but there was nothing she could do. No creativity, no way to shift.
This is where, though, I really struggle with trying to be moderate here on this topic, because, what is that going to hurt somebody in a one-on-one situation of cutting somebody's hair? Why is it okay to have, pickets or protests and so forth, and arm in arm and all this stuff downtown Nashville? That's okay, but somebody cutting your hair is not during that time. And it just, I don't understand that. To me, there's a real rampant lack of common sense, just common sense behavior here in this kind of stuff, just absolute there's no common sense.
Yeah, it's a big mess right now. And, going back to, it as in the real estate business, these are the real struggles that we're helping our clients through.
You know what's amazing, though, to me, guys, is even with all this going on, the real estate market has maintained. In this office, has in the last 5 days of this month is closing 50 transactions. That's 10 per day. The last 5 days of this month. So something's happening.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe, regardless of all this chaos, what we're going to see. To those realtors out there, I think what we're going to see is what normally happens from spring to summer is going to now happen from summer to fall or through fall. And I really believe that, because it doesn't change whatever's going on in the craziness of our government and so forth, does not change people having babies, people growing up, people downsizing, people divorcing, people being people, and that's our job security in this industry. Is people are going to continue to be people and need a place for housing, and especially while the interest rates are low and we have great service like this from CMG Financial. Carey Ann, it's. Have I given you a shout out lately to the best mortgage professional?
Going back though, I do think there's so many people out there, whether you're protesting, whether you're going to a musical. Did you guys see that in the news too, that somebody had the first country show? And so whether you're going to a country show, I'm saying it wrong. I'm not saying it right. It's like going to a concert. I'm like, hillbilly show. I'm like going down to the farm. I'm like,
careful, she's going to bring up the spoons.
I mean, yeah, that's right where I was headed. But whether it's a, peaceful protest or, a concert of some sort, whether it's an open house, whether it's at Lowe's, whether it's anywhere and everywhere, there's so many people that are doing the right thing, right? They're thinking about their neighbor. They're thinking about my mom who has cancer that I can't get to see, nor can I fly to see her because she's in that situation. There's so many people that are thinking about other people and themselves as well. And the mask discussion is a whole other discussion, right? This mask my mom wants me to wear protects her, but protects me, but doesn't protect her if I have it, right? There's many things you can look into that. However, wear it, don't wear it, do your thing, do you for you. But there's so many great people out there doing the right things, but it's the people that are not, that are making it, that are forcing, I think, a lot of this craziness that is happening, right? I mean, what do you think about that?
You don't want to know what I think about that. I think it's stupid. That's what I think.
You think it's stupid?
I think it's a political deal, that's what I think.
Okay.
I think it's if everybody had to, you're not going to like this, but if everybody had to wear on their mask Trump 2020, this would be over with tomorrow.
Just went there. He just went there. So, but that's your opinion, but that's why we call Talk Music City. We're having a discussion.
I'm sorry, but honestly, this is anyway. I'm sorry.
I tend to agree that after November 6th, we're not going to see much of this anyway.
But I do know of a real estate agent that you and I both know that has it right now.
But wait, there is more.
Oh, we're not. It's not confirming or denying that it's out there. It's just it's just one of those things that I think I think it was blown out of proportion.
Why don't we stop businesses because people are dying of cancer because they're smoking cigarettes? More people are dying of cancer because they're smoking cigarettes. Let's stop. I mean. Well, what about car accidents? What about all the things that are happening in the world?
So do you think it's because I can't get my Tamiflu or I can't get that thing to help protect me if I get it type of thing? Is that the bigger concern?
Are you talking about the vaccine?
Yeah, vaccine. Or I don't even know. 86 the vaccine, have a vaccine. Here's the deal. I didn't know I needed a flu shot because I didn't think it was serious until COVID hit and 80,000 people died of the flu. Like I didn't even know that.
But those numbers aren't even real half the time. That's the thing. You could have a runny nose and get eaten by a shark. There's a COVID stat, Okay. I'm sorry. We need to get off that topic.
Okay, let's get off it. But here's the deal. There's an increase in the taxes, and if there's people out there that want to talk about ways of lowering or providing comfort back to their monthly payment, if they love where they live but you're overwhelmed with that monthly payment, you can share with your consumers that there's methods that could help them lowering their interest rate, increasing their term because they may be on a higher term, so maybe increasing it a few years. That's a possibility for them if that's necessary, and also looking at their insurance and reevaluating their insurance.
Your insurance. Take a look at that.
Right, combining.
And that's what this show's all about, is empowering our agent listeners to ways of increasing their value on the planet, because prosperity follows value. It doesn't follow need or wishing or hoping. It follows becoming more valuable as a professional.
And what I also love about this is we all don't have to agree, but we all can respect each other's opinion.
Everybody doesn't agree with me? Are you kidding?
Amen.
We all can respect each other's opinion. We all can respect each other's opinion. I think that's what's great about this business. And we all can be amazing professionals in real estate and continue to move forward in a method that helps more people. So together we can help so many. So let's do that.
We all have that same heart's desire, and that is to serve our client base and observe what's happening and be an asset and bring more value to the table.
Yes.
Right?
And he's done. Thank you so much for listening. This one was an interesting topic. We really appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully you picked up something that you can share with your clients and your consumers. So we'll see you next week. But if you'd like to hear more episodes, visit us at talkmusiccity.com. We'll see you next week.